And hello. Welcome into a Monday. We hope you had a fabulous weekend. We hope that you saw the largest fireworks munitions on display ever. 850,000 different munitions.
Illuminations.
I was about to say illuminations and I didn't get to say it yet, but 850,000 illuminations. But friends, before we go around the table, we have Yammer, we have the word of the day, and we have so much news to talk about. It's just us friends today, but we have guests basically for the rest of the week. And when JP gives me the thumbs up, at some point of the day today, we will tell you about a podcast that's going to make its debut. We'll talk about that later as well. There's so much to get to. But first, friends, this is the Rightside. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. How was everybody's July 4th and America's 250th birthday weekend?
I have the best. I just now remembered. I wanted to tell y'all the story.
Okay. Do tell.
Okay. So we had a great weekend. We had about 900 people at the lake house. I don't know. It was a lot of people, fun people, but it's a lot of people. And on the 4th, if you were at Lake Martin, you probably heard this or saw this, but we had been, one of our friends just loves to get behind the grill and smoke and do stuff, which is awesome because he just cooks all weekend. Just brought everything in. We're all gathering in the kitchen. We're saying the blessing.
Okay.
The blessing.
Yes.
Okay. And so we're all standing there. Literally, we say amen. And we hear fighter jets.
No way.
Oh, that's sick.
Flying over. So all 900 of us run out to the back porch. We look up. It's like these, I don't know, F-35 fighter jets flying right over the house. And then one goes, and then the other one goes. And so when that happens, you've said a prayer. Fighter jets fly over. What do you think happened next?
Play ball.
Oh, say.
Did that really happen?
See? So it's right at sunset. And where our lake house is, everybody pulls their boats up to watch the sunset there. And so all these boats are out there. 25 of us. The planes go over. We start singing.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yes, we start singing and we get to the end. And all the boats start clapping.
I'm clapping. I'm getting chills just at the description of it.
Awesome.
That's sick.
Will probably never happen again, but it was just funny. And it
Play
just
ball.
felt very patriotic.
So why were the fighter jets?
I don't know. Everybody was posting about it on what's happening in Lake Martin. Everybody was like, what is this? It was right at dusk, and I think they just wanted to say, we love America. Pew, pew, pew.
What Air Force base did they come from?
The one that's there.
You know what? That's what I was thinking. Maybe from Maxwell?
Montgomery?
Maybe over from Maxwell?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were
That is
fast and loud.
Awesome.
So God,
Awesome.
country, it was just amazing.
We hosted a block party or is it a cul-de-sac party? I don't know what you call it. But do you understand how much my husband loves fireworks? I don't think you do. He bought so many fireworks that the people at Perrin's were like, let me give you an extra carry-all just for free that normally cost a lot of money.
Like a bag?
This big thing. I don't know. I don't know if it meant more fireworks. I don't know. But he just kept bringing stuff out of the house because he makes his yearly trip to Perrin's for all the fireworks in the universe. But something even better happened after we had eaten and we were enjoying the fireworks. We set off a few at dusk and then it got dark and it was perfect. Then our neighbors, where another family used to live, popped up and then made their way up their driveway and joined in the fun. And they had fireworks and it was a blast. So it was extra fireworks going off.
Do you all have safety precautions and protocols in place for fireworks? Or is it, we had one that didn't, it exploded in its case and just went sideways.
That happened to us this year.
Collins
went around. It just went pew, 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 pew. We ducked for cover like it was war. And we all thought, should we move our chairs back? And me and my neighbor and my mother-in-law, we moved ours back. But yeah, it did explode. And Chris had his fireworks director hat on all day, but got so hot working in the yard that he had to take it off.
Does it
And
say fireworks director?
Yes, it says fireworks director. I run, you run. And so that's what happened. And so there was one time when he ran because it did.
That's scary.
Pew, 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 pew. And you're
You'll
like,
lose an
oh,
eyeball.
crap. That's all. That's the protocol. I have nothing to do with it. And I just sit there and I'm amazed that my husband loves fireworks that much, and he does.
Well, when
It was awesome.
when I was growing up, every year we would have a massive 4th of July block party. Like, it's almost the point now where it's almost like something's missing in my brain. I'm like, wait,
Why don't you do it anymore?
Because kids got old. Like, when me and my sister started to get a little older, my dad said like the last one we did, he counted like 50 kids in the pool at one time, like massive block parties. But we would always have big fireworks, and one of our family friends would get it. He claimed it was from the black market. It was actually somebody he knew that worked for the Huntsville Stars, and he would give us some of Huntsville Stars supplies of like fireworks. But one year, we rarely had like bad stuff happen with the fireworks. Except one year, we had one year. We had one
That kid died.
that shot directly into we were in a cul-de-sac.
Mhm.
And we all like had lawn chairs in our front yard and then the cul-de-sac, and one
Sounding familiar.
shot straight towards our neighbor's house.
Mhm.
And all I can see in my head is my brother, who was right in the line of fire, and him air diving out of the way, like head first into our yard. And luckily it did not go, but one went like straight into their house. And I just look, and as I'm turning, I see my brother jumping away for life from that. But yeah, it's scary whenever it happens.
This is what
happened at the lake house? Was it like that?
exactly.
Did anything catch
Exactly.
on fire?
Almost. But
Oh,
I have a picture. I wrote a column about it. It was the exact as you're describing it. Exactly. I'm like, surely we have just set the bushes ablaze. And they might have almost died. And sure enough, this happened again this year where it really did almost explode. But it's so fun, isn't
I was
it?
going to say, isn't that the fun part of it?
Yes. I mean, they have the like little
You could lose
canisters,
a hand, you could lose an eye.
Yeah, I'm like, just please don't
It's
blow your
exciting.
hands off, because then you can't scope anymore.
Yeah.
And then we'd be
Have
destitute.
no livelihood.
So,
Abs.
yeah. So it's serious. Like can't lose these. So
You can blow up the neighbor's house,
he can, yeah.
but let's don't lose.
I just remember as a kid bracing for impact, waiting for the and like, because it was coming, and I was like, oh no, and it just didn't do anything. I was like, oh wow, okay. But we went to a family friend's house who lived out in the country in Moulton, and they did fireworks. And the dad, he's an engineer. He was an engineer in the Army.
Oh,
He
boy.
used ChatGPT to create a like order of like how to do the fireworks, to where
Chris, are you listening?
he could just light it and run back and it would go. But he used ChatGPT to like graph out how to order them so that they could have like a cool.
Stop.
Yeah. And I remember walking through the garage, and he had his laptop open with the ChatGPT like map, and he was like looking and making sure it was.
Oh, no, you have just described, because I threw the gauntlet down for Chris. I'm like, where's the music? Like last year you had music. So next year we'll be at the lake, God willing. And I did throw the gauntlet down. I was like, this should be accompanied to music, because it was his finest fireworks show ever. But I can see the genius of using ChatGPT. Your friend's dad is brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant, I say. That's so
It was
fun.
a great fireworks show too.
But did you eat hamburgers and hot dogs? Like, what did
Yeah.
everybody eat?
I had hamburgers, hot dogs, baked beans, mac and cheese, and then they had banana pudding cupcakes, which were good.
Allison.
Never heard of banana pudding cupcakes.
That sounds
It
wonderful.
had banana pudding in the cupcake
Mm.
and vanilla wafer and banana on top. That was my dessert I had. So
Well, we had the typical like Boston butt, pork, but one thing that Eric made that I'd never really had, and I've always heard it, burnt ends.
oh
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were really, really delicious.
Were they tasty?
They're very tasty.
Tasty treats.
And then this sounds so lame. We had this bean salad.
But was it the like Italian bean salad that's the Instagram salad of the summer?
No, it sounds terrible. It was like peas and onions and corn and red peppers, and it was kind of vinegary. It was
Sounds
really really good.
delicious.
Sounds terrible. But we had a ton of stuff. But the typical 4th of July. I'm trying to think. Nothing really. It was all really good. And the best part, I didn't cook any of it.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah.
How did you manage that?
Well, we supply the toilet paper in the house to stay in.
okay, that's fair.
And like I pick up kind of snacky stuff,
Right.
but then everybody else brings the food. And I'm
You're
like,
not going into becoming like, I don't even know what you would call that. The bed and breakfast. You're just
no,
you're
those
just the
days are
home,
over.
running water, toothpaste. You just should be glad you're here.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And if we
Yep.
don't have forks, we're
Okay.
gonna deal.
You know what? You just pick up your food, use bread and scoop it up.
I just hate having it, you go. Ugh, that sounds so bad. It's just when you go out of town, even if it's your own lake house, you don't want to feel like you have another house on the lake, like
Mhm.
that you have to keep up and do all the things. So I just quit.
No,
Fend for
I-
yourself.
I understand.
Good luck.
It's,
Don't ask me for anything.
It was a good long weekend, but did y'all watch any of the national, like the fireworks at Mount Rushmore and the fireworks show at DC, any of that stuff?
DC. I turned over to NBC for their salt and pepper here, like rap.
No way.
They had their own 4th of July special. I was like, this is very different than the beautiful munitions I'm watching and the Air Force Band singing. That was a little awkward because a bunch of losers wouldn't just go sing for America's 250th. So instead of Axl Rose, we had the Air Force Band, and I would like to say, or military band. They sounded wonderful. But maybe next time wear just like jeans and t-shirts.
What'd they
And-
have on?
Their actual military clothes.
Is that bad?
Well, like, can you sing Living on a Prayer in your military skirt and shirt with your military shoes?
They sang Living on a Prayer?
They sang lots of great songs and they sounded amazing. My only caveat was maybe we should consider like a different outfit next time, you know, if you're singing in that. It was just
Do they have different like casual day?
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, you know, maybe like I appreciate what you're doing because genuinely beautiful voices. It was everybody was singing along in the audience, but maybe we need to reconsider the outfits.
So like the visual didn't match the
Well, wasn't it somebody made the 4th of July fireworks at Mount Rushmore stop a couple of years ago because they were scared of like something with the climate and the starting forest fires or something. Anyways, they brought it back. And I've always thought that the fireworks at Mount Rushmore were so cool. I've been to Mount Rushmore twice. Everybody says that it's such a anticlimactic, underwhelming. They're so wrong. I love Mount Rushmore. It's just so cool. But just the visuals of the big fireworks above Mount Rushmore, I always love those. And then the fireworks at DC were massive. Wasn't it the largest fireworks show ever? Yeah. So I thought those were really cool.
Ever.
Did the Brooklyn Bridge actually catch on fire?
I don't know. I did see something about that. I didn't look into it though.
I didn't either, but I had questions about that. You saw fire, but you're like, is this?
I didn't know if it was the actual bridge that
Flames rise from Brooklyn Bridge. Yeah, Brooklyn Bridge briefly catches fire during a fireworks display. New York Times.
Well,
they needed Chris.
They needed Chris to handle it. So that's a whole thing.
Well, I know the 4th is over, but I had to wear my America shirt
I like
again because y'all are probably like, it's July 6th, Sinclair. We got a big game tonight, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But that's why I'm still in my stars and bars.
I like your stars and bars. And you know, maybe we our vibe today is maybe we're not in the exact same colors, but we've got cream.
No,
as
you're
our base.
Axl Rose and I'm America.
Yeah. See?
Oh wait, that can't because he flaked out.
He's so flaked out. That's fine.
You are
I'm Kalen DeBoer.
You are
Flo Rida. Didn't Flo Rida sing?
probably.
I didn't even see. I was just about to ask. Did y'all watch? I didn't
Did
watch
Vanilla
any
Ice
of
sing?
the 250 like.
Well, that's what
band.
I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. It was the military band.
Had to step in.
So
they
had
stepped
to
in.
step
Some
in
people,
lieu
I know,
of-
I know some people sang.
Perhaps they did, but I'm disappointed in a whole lot of them. But it was fine. They did what they had to do. They did an excellent job because they're the military and they're excellent. But for the 11th time, y'all change their outfits next time they're up there singing. Put them in something cute. Don't make them wear their military clothes. That's just silly. That's was a little ridiculous. So sorry, y'all
What's it
could be
called?
mad.
Cognitive
Dissonance.
dissonance.
Yes,
Like
Allison.
Something is that something didn't match.
Yes.
And it makes you.
You can call me unpatriotic. Look, I'm just calling you like it's just real.
Let's
Okay.
be real.
Let's be real.
Hey, Pride Month's over.
Pride Month is over.
Oh,
we made it.
we're now into July. It is July the 6th. And it is time, guys, for the word of the day.
Three, two, one.
Friends, you're going to love this word. Allison, I think since you already used cognitive dissonance,
Yes.
you are primed and ready to go.
Deep fake.
Allison!
I cheated. I didn't mean to though, but abs, when you hold it out like this,
You're supposed to look away.
no, I'm looking at the screen and you're holding it like this, and I saw deep fake. I'm still not sure
Fine,
what.
I'll use another word then.
Okay.
Yeah. Find a different word. And we
You
can
You know
do
what? I already did find another word.
The
Okay.
cognitive dissonance was really good for deep fake.
Also, did y'all catch the Allison?
Still need a button.
Yeah, listen.
This.
All right, here's the word. Listen.
Mm.
All right. This word is an adjective. It's not deep fake. You know what I just pulled off? A deep fake.
Hmm.
This word is, I'm going to describe it. And there's a word for what I'm about to describe. It starts with an I. All of our smarty pants out there, go ahead and guess. But the description, the feeling is, I can't quite put my finger on it, but I just know. It's when you're, as a mom, you're like,
Sure,
I can't put my
Intuition,
finger
yeah.
on it, but I just know. Mm-mm.
Not intuition.
It's-
Instinct.
It's very close. Incapable of being felt by touch. So finely divided that no grains or grit can be felt, or not readily discerned by the mind, but it doesn't mean it's not true. It is true. And who knew, guys, I'm just asking this, that there was a word for this, but you're very close.
Do we know this word? If you don't know the word, there's no way JP and I know this word.
I'm gonna play the word.
Impalpable.
Impalpable. Impalpable.
Impulpable.
Impalpable.
Impulpable, aka orange juice without pulp. Impulpable.
That's exactly right, JP. I don't know how you got that so quickly.
Are you pro pulp or anti pulp?
I'm anti-pulp.
I'm anti-pulp.
I'm anti-pulp. Do you like pulp?
I am pro pulp.
I've got some pulp, delicious, freshly squeezed orange juice in my fridge. I think I'm just going to give it to you
Yeah,
because ain't no one in my family going to drink this stuff.
tastes real.
Have y'all seen the clip from The Sopranos where Tony walks out in a bathrobe to his wife? He's like, "This has got pulp." She goes, "You like pulp?" He goes, "I like some pulp, not just pulp." And she like throws the phone at him.
Yeah, I'm that girl. I like some, not all, but this one that I have, like the Indian River, that's
It's
delicious.
like hair in your orange juice.
Yeah. Ugh. How can you drink that? You're such a tactile person.
That is weird.
It's so odd.
I think it's because that's the way God intended it to be.
Oh,
If you squeeze an orange, you've got pulp.
okay.
Very true.
Unless you have a strainer. I don't think
I
God.
got a couple of strainers.
All right, y'all ready for
All
the
right,
Gen Z word of
JP.
the day?
Yes.
This is a term, 2 words, describes a significant transformation or improvement, often focused on a person's physical appearance, but can also apply to a confidence or style. A quote blank is usually positive and noticeable.
I know it.
I wasn't listening.
A significant transformation or improvement. 2 words, this phrase. She got it.
Oh, could you hear me?
Yes.
Oh.
Just like you could hear my burp from back here, I could hear you whisper next to the mic. Yes.
Molly uses that phrase.
Yeah.
Gen Z uses glow up to celebrate makeovers, self-improvement, or any dramatic upgrade.
I could use a glow up.
Why could you use a glow up?
I don't know. You know, when you hit a certain age, you're like, oh, that Wet n Wild lip liner isn't really doing it anymore.
Oh, yes, I do understand
I
that.
hate when I can't use my lipstick that used to work when I was in high school. It sucks.
It is.
The hair products,
Yeah,
JP, they don't work anymore.
I gotta it's 10 more minutes in the morning now. I get it.
Oh, all right.
Shall we yammer?
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
are we going to do a Muslim minute?
Yes, we are gonna do a Muslim minute.
Okay, good.
And I got a perfect clip for y'all.
Are we going to do it after the...
We'll find let's discuss in the break which segment we want to plug it into. But we're gonna do it today.
Can't wait.
Here, I'm gonna add 2 more minutes for yammer. Okay.
Ready?
It's time for yammer.
Allison.
Who wants to go first?
Abs, you warned us of this years ago, and I hate to say it. No, I don't hate to say it. I'm very happy for you. You're right.
Oh,
It sounded crazy when it came out.
I don't
you're
even know
right.
what this is.
Hospitals in the U.S. are advertising in Latin American countries offering birth packages up to $5,000 to foreigners to help give birth in border states like Texas, allowing their children to be born as U.S. citizens following the new Supreme Court ruling. Look at this billboard. I mean, havebabiesintexas.com. Mission Regional Medical Center. So sad. So wrong. And what are we going to do about this? How is this? Our Supreme Court just ruled this is legal.
We're gonna have to have somehow Congress amend it. That's the only way forward.
Mm-hmm. I know they immediately started talking about workarounds, but I don't want to hear from another person about the replacement theory ever again being false. Like, zip it.
I want to know what other country in the world you can go to and do that.
I think we're pretty much the only major country.
But we're evil.
But the Amy Coney Barrettts and the John Roberts, they think about okay, it's another part of the discussion of if they genuinely didn't know or if this is malicious and they did and they're bought and paid for. But regardless, they're envisioning the dreamers who just came here and there's a system from our adversaries with set hospitals in mind to come in and subvert us. And
Abs, you mentioned that you found something about those 2 biscuits.
I did. And maybe later I will
write
get
it
the
down?
write it down because I do have something flagged on Amy Coney Barrett. She seems to have been compromised. And I'll show you the evidence that I have discovered.
Abs, you want to go next?
Yes, sir.
Jotted.
Jackson Hospital, according to a story by Grayson Everett, our buddy, is staying open. Board announces path forward after verbal agreement with Blue Cross. And to that we say bravo. Because perhaps when you show the world Blue Cross, you're paying this hospital a mere 3 miles away. 3 miles away. Different rates than you're paying us. That seemed hypocritical. Never mind the monopolistic hold that Blue Cross has on health insurance in Alabama. But bravo. I'm very happy that Jackson Hospital is staying open. I'm very happy that they worked in agreement. But health insurance is another discussion for another day. But this is great news. And I'm excited about it.
This is a turnaround.
It happens when you refuse to play ball and say it only works.
They got
Here's
their
the
bluff
deal.
called.
They got their bluff called. When you say you're doing this and it's right here and you won't do this, make that make sense. That's the only way it seems, in business, just in general, if you're in negotiations with somebody, that you have to just show them, and then you also have to go public with it, because people hate being discovered. And that's what happened, is it got found out and then it got published. That's what made the change.
It sounds like, though, Jackson Hospital needs to do a little bit better job managing, like maybe change some of their things as well. Because there's no way that Blue Cross Blue Shield alone could bring Jackson Hospital to a close.
Absolutely, they could. 100%. This is a 100% they can. They dictate prices. They dictate everything. They decide.
Because they're the only, basically, I mean, they're the largest provider in Alabama. So if you don't have equal treatment from them, then you're just that screwed.
Mm-hmm. We can't cross state lines to get health insurance. There's only a few others like United. And, you've got the private sharing situations going on, but they are a monolith, and they decide, and the decider decides. And if they decide this is not going to happen, then it's not going to happen. It is so deep and vast, it would blow your mind.
But why Jackson Hospital?
They had to, there were things that they, like you said, there's always something that people can do better. But when the very people who are your payors decide not to pay for the very same things that they're paying somebody 3 miles away, you've got a real problem. And so that was the rub of the whole situation. But more than that, that's just the iceberg. That's the tip of the iceberg that's underneath, that would take a weeks-long plunge discussion over how we pay, who pays, why they pay. It's big hospital, big pharma, big insurance. They run the world.
So, sorry, JP. This is a good, I'm learning a lot. But part of this is, I guess, as you're talking, I'm thinking, just because Jackson Hospital might need to change some of their systems and accounting and whatever, that doesn't mean Blue Cross Blue Shield cannot do the right thing.
Exactly.
So yes. Okay. Gotcha.
Mine's not as long, but it's interesting. Today,
we'll decide if it's interesting or not.
Okay, sorry. Today is the beginning of the Tyler Robinson case.
Yes. Next. I'm just kidding.
Prosecutors in Provo, Utah began presenting evidence Monday in the 5-day preliminary hearing against 23-year-old Tyler James Robinson, charged with aggravated murder in the September 10th shooting of Charlie Kirk. Here's why I'm so excited to have this case done, because for the Candace Owenses and the others, this is as open and shut as a case as it gets. Mm-hmm. They're not going to stop. The Candace Owenses and the others are not going to stop their grifting even after all of their lies get disproven in court, and he's going to get convicted and thrown in prison for the rest of his life, at least, if not the death penalty. Like, we've got a confession, we've got fingerprints on the gun, we've got footage of him leaving the scene all the way to the forest where the gun is found through Ring, doorbell cameras. We've got him dead to rights, and he went in his Discord chat and said, I had to do it. This is why. As open and shut of a case as it gets, but I'm happy for that to be put out there and for it to be put to rest illegally. But I still know that Candace Owens and the others aren't going to stop after it. There's going to be some conspiracy that the jury wasn't selected properly. Somebody was in. Andrew Colvett was talking to a jury guy in a military base in Seattle, Washington, the day before, in an Egyptian cargo plane, and then Netanyahu was on the plane. Like, it's going to keep going. But I just, legally speaking, all the evidence will be presented, and it'll be it'll be a very easy conviction, in my opinion. Fingers crossed. Mm-hmm. But
is the media allowed in the courtroom? Are we going to be able to watch?
I'll have to look. I know they talked about it. I don't know what the decision was. I'll have to look into that.
It's like the OJ trial. This is
what
else has been. I mean, we've had a few of these. It's going to be on that kind of stage. All right, we'll be back with the montage, the Muslim Minute. What else? Lots of news. We'll be right back.
Welcome. As we celebrate America's 250th birthday.
We would like to welcome you.
We do welcome you into the right side. I am Amy Beth Shaver. This is the Allison Sinclair, and we're joined by JP. For a show like no other, we will have cake and festivities. We will eventually have an outfit change. And then from there, we are going to talk about some of the news of the day. But today, mainly, we're focused on our favorite founding father, some trivia, a little tiny tad of news. We have Kenneth Pascal, who's joining us, who will regale us with tales of America's birthday. And who knows what else. Ladies and gentlemen, we bid you a good morning. Miss Sinclair, how?
250 score ago, the greatest nation in the world was founded. Praise God, we are not British anymore. You have to stick around for Yammer to find out why. I'm very, very happy to be here today. It's going to take a lot for me to stay in this accent. So just when I start sounding Russian, just hear British.
Well, the good news is...
What is the good news, sir?
You look so legit.
What's up?
I look like
Alexander Hamilton.
Alexander Hamilton if he
Yes,
was
indeed.
in a rock band.
I'm just all washed up.
We will go back to our American accents, though, after the first segment, because I don't have a very good British accent. I kind of sound like Forrest Gump a little bit if I add a little bit of a little bit of a tang to it. But we will not be in the British accents for much longer because bollocks me, I cannot keep the British accent.
Do you know that's a very, very bad word?
Yeah, but in Britain, not in America.
Yeah, I don't think most Americans know what that means, thank goodness. And honestly, I don't know what it means. I just know you're not supposed to say it.
Yes, obviously. And you're not also supposed to say things like bloody hell, but we say it anyway.
Bloody
hell. I don't even know what that means, but thank goodness the good Lord saw fit for us to become American citizens, and we live here now. But we would have been remiss if we didn't start off our festivities with a bang. A celebratory bang. You might see a cake on the table.
Like a shot heard round the world.
Yes, like a shot heard round the world.
Yes, it's so good.
Absolutely. Yes, that's exactly what the gun sounded like.
Thank you.
Exactly. And then 2 if by land, 4 if by sea. And it was 2. And here we are, the 3 of us.
I do have a question, though.
Sir, what is your
accent
question?
Is terrible.
I gotta work on it. Okay.
Okay.
You guys gotta get British.
But you do look like that super cool meme, George Washington with the sunglasses, the one you used on our show.
Yes.
Saver.
Yes.
Okay, you have a question. What would be your question?
I gotta pull the accent back. How did we find it where Amy Beth has a blonde one and Allison's got a white, and I got a white one?
Well, you will respect in, that I am cafe au lait, and I think Miss Sinclair saw fit to have one that maybe better matched my cafe au lait skin tone.
Well,
I don't know. How did you do it, my
Truth
lady?
is, on Amazon, they all look the same, and I thought I was ordering all this color. Now, hindsight, I wish I had gotten them all your color, because we're a little washed out. It's not the best look.
I do love the wigs that you have, and I'm happy to switch. We haven't worn them very long, but I do thank you for acquiring the wigs so that we could celebrate properly.
Shall not lie. This morning, I was having buyer's remorse, thinking we might go down in history for not good reasons after this episode.
Well, we just wanted to remind everybody that we're so thankful that it is not 1776 or before. when all the wars took place, and we would as men have had to wear our hair like this, and I keep wondering if young men who go to school and their fathers and their pastors say, why don't you cut your hair? One young man need only look back to this day and say, why, Father? Because Jesus Christ probably had long hair, and so did our founding fathers, and so I don't see the problem with my hair, Father. I think that's it. And so aren't we thankful that we don't have to put on powdered wigs and sweat underneath it? And also I'm thankful for deodorant, because I hear that they didn't wear that then either. But this is just a moment where we say, thank you, God, that we're proud to be Americans.
Can you imagine going to Katie Britt's barbecue, having to wear one of the... Wait, no, they only wore these in Parliament, right?
No, I think they found it fashionable to wear the wigs often.
Was it like on the battlefield?
Yes. Well, I don't think on the battlefield, because I think they put those little triangular caps on, and that's what they wore. But I think in all everyday lives, their wives were like, no, Sir Charles Henry David Patrick Jedediah, you may not leave the home without your powdered wig. It is not fashionable.
Can you imagine?
Welcome back.
Hi,
Are we here?
we're here.
I think so.
How are you doing?
That's why I didn't know we
Addison?
were back.
Addison, what
Sorry,
happened?
I'm in play. Okay. I still don't have any sound.
You got sound?
I got sound. All right, we're back.
How about that?
How about that? A little late, but we're here. So let's I think we should montage.
Yes.
JP, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
It's
I
Monday.
got those interviews done.
Monday montage. Let's do it.
You can be loyal to Karl Marx, or you can be loyal to America. You can be a communist, or you can be a patriot. You cannot be both.
We see a city of contradictions within a nation of contradictions. We see the wealthiest country in the history of the world, one where children go to sleep hungry, while the world's first trillionaire hungers for more. We see masked agents terrorizing our streets, eating food cooked by our undocumented neighbors before spiriting them away in unmarked vans. We see a nation whose immense wealth has been built by those with calloused, dirt-streaked hands, those who toil on factory floors and chisel into stone. And we see a nation that has allowed so much of that wealth to be held instead in the soft hands of a precious few.
To come here right now.
Some of these kids, and I call them kids because they're in their 20s, and they've never had real jobs, and they're complaining things are expensive. Yes, things are expensive when you don't have a real job.
This generation, my generation, I hate to say it, Gen Z and those younger than me have been raised with just silver spoons in their mouth, just getting everything handed to them. That's not the values this country was built on. It was built on meritocracy and hard work, pulling up your sleeves, pulling yourself up from your bootstraps.
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband's under scrutiny after he allegedly crashed his car into another vehicle in Napa County, California, causing major damage before leaving the scene.
Happy 4th of July from the Embassy of Japan. Celebration of America's 250th anniversary. Japan gifted 250 cherry trees to the United States. May our friendship continue to grow and bloom.
I just included that one because you've got the mayor of New York City like, happy 4th, we suck. And then a country we nuked just like 80 something years ago. It's like, happy 250th. They had a drone show. They gave us gifts. There was happy 250 on the Eiffel Tower when everybody and the left claims that the world's embarrassed by us. I just think the contradiction is funny of like our own mayors hate our country and Japan, France, and others. They're celebrating like how many of nations get celebrated their Independence Day globally like that? Not a lot.
It's different, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking Cinco de Mayo, but that's not
It's not even the
even
Independence
that's not
Day.
even real.
Just our
St.
excuse to drink.
Patrick's Day.
So much of what
that's
we
not
do isn't
even-
real. That was real.
That was
July 4th,
real.
That was real.
But it wasn't their independence. So I'm trying to think of things that. What else do we celebrate? What other international holidays do we celebrate?
Yeah,
in
but ours
America?
are just excuses to drink.
I know. So I'm wondering, what are our excuses?
Cinco de Mayo, 4th, or St. Patrick's Day. Those are the main two. I can't think of any others really.
That's it. So we don't celebrate anybody else's independence.
But you see what I mean, though? Like, the beacon of America, New York, and we have a socialist mayor saying how capitalism is bad. Pretty much. That's what, and I included the clip maybe a little bit too long for the montage, but everything he said was just pure socialism, like from the USSR, that sort of messaging. And yet, like I said, Japan is celebrating us more than our New York City mayor is.
So let's start with our New York City mayor, because sitting and situating George's desk, as we know, was very much on purpose. What was your response, your gut level, impalpable response when you saw that?
Deport.
I mean, what other choice do we have?
I really don't. I don't understand how we got here, except for just human nature and sin, and it's just the way things go. But they hate America. They are trying, and I try and go, okay, I need y'all to help me think through this. How is what they're doing in America different from what we did with Britain?
It's not.
It's not.
And by that, do you mean breaking away from a country and starting your own? Or what do you mean by that?
I mean, we're saying see, I think it is different. Because we didn't start this revolution in Britain and try and say, Britain, you can't be Britain. We left and said, we're going to start our new cool club. And y'all stay over there.
Then you're right. Yes, this is different.
So this is a hostile takeover. Now, we may have tried in Britain to kind of reason, but once we realized, hey, Britain's going to stay Britain, cool, you do you. But we're going to go do our own thing. This is war without bullets. Yep. And I sit there and go, why are we tolerating this? Y'all, I literally have had conversations with whether it's Hoover leaders when the Muslim school tried to move into our neighborhood, state level leaders, even Donald Trump. And if you listen, Trump and his administration will talk about communism, but they won't mention Islam and the Muslims. They won't. They won't talk about how that is part of this issue, because the whole socialist communist movement is being used by the Muslims as a legitimate reason to take over this country. That is the vehicle, that is the car they are jumping in to drive through the front door of our country. So, but they will say, there's not much we can do. They're a religion. They have freedoms here too. No, you're a terrorist organization. And you are coming for the very existence. You are coming for everything we have said we love and have been founded on for 250 freaking years. And we're the best country in the world. How in the world is he sitting at George Washington's desk saying those things? And everybody's like, oh, look, he's so compassionate.
Yeah.
It is. I found something for us that I'd like to chew on, if we may, along this discussion, but it's from Victor Davis Hanson, and it's for, we understand that about 60% of our audience thinks like we do. 40% does not. They're very liberal. So maybe even you could argue half and half.
Really?
I mean, do you remember what our friend John in Huntsville taught us about our audience, that half of us are like us and half tune in because they don't like us and they don't like what we have to say, but we're like a train wreck. You can't tear your eyes away.
I didn't realize the numbers were that high for the people that don't like us but still listen.
Well, it's just stats is all. I'm just remembering what John taught us at one point during who is actually your audience. It's fine. But this is very interesting for the people who are like, well, we don't know what to do. Let me start with the end and the answer for Zohran and his type, and then tell you about his family, because this is ironic. But for Allison and I, for JP, Allison and I, and our families, I'm not going to lump them all. I know my husband feels this way. There's only one way to get rid of this problem, and it is to deport. And that is the most uncomfortable truth about it all. We let them in. Some of them are citizens, some of them are not. So you need to check immigration status first. but their values are completely incompatible with Western values. And yet now they're here saying, we are here to take over. This will become a Muslim country. This will become a Muslim city, etc. They're telling us what they're going to do. And being subversive like that and facing Washington's desk, our direction, while we're all reading George Washington's super spy book, which is amazing, by the way, the only answer for those of you that are asking, it is to deport. That is the only answer. I don't think you understand how deadly serious this is. And we'll continue to talk about this and give you information. But why don't Muslims go to the countries where their religion is already dominant? There are 54 countries that are Muslim dominant nations. Why don't they go there? And here we have Zohran Mamdani. This is from Victor Davis Hanson. Finds this interesting. And just remember this, friends of you who think, oh, well, we should all be a diverse nation. Diverse if you want to become a melting pot, not diverse if you want to come in and dominate and subjugate. But here's Mamdani's family. They are members of Uganda's elite expatriate community, privileged academics who settled into a country that was not theirs and built wealth there. By Mamdani's own ideological framework, his family are the colonial settlers. He just lacks the self-awareness to apply his own rules to himself. Hanson's broader point is devastating and applies far beyond Mamdani. These are the same people always. The socialist who inherited a mansion on the Upper East Side worth $5 million. The anti-capitalist professor whose family are multimillionaires. The champion of the oppressed whose parents were part of the elite expatriate class of a developing nation. And here's where it's just real quick. They weaponize guilt about wealth and privilege. Did you hear that? Him attacking the producers and then exempt themselves from every standard they demand of others. The wealth tax they propose will force on your neighbor to sell the modest house he inherited from his parents. Their own assets are structured, sheltered, and protected by the very systems they claim to oppose. Mamdani is the mayor of New York City. He comes from a family of multimillionaire academics in Uganda's elite expatriate community. He calls the Jews of Israel colonial settlers, don't ever forget that, while his own family's claim to Uganda is built on the same foundation he condemns. The only answer is to deport all of them. And that's what you're going to hear from us over and over again. And as you do your homework and as you dig into what they believe and what they're telling us, you'll know that this is 100% true.
Do you know where Mamdani's wife was during the 4th of July celebrations?
Oh, Lord, where
Did
was
y'all
she?
read this?
Allison, where was she?
It's hysterical. She was on a high-end spiritual retreat. Do you know what it was about?
What?
The plants of the Quran.
I'm sorry. The plants of the Quran?
Yeah.
Like the desert cactus?
Yeah.
And the
plant. I don't know, but she wasn't here. She was in some foreign country diving deep into the plants of the Quran for a lot of money.
Yeah.
See, it just is exactly what you just said.
But I think also the main difference when you ask between the American Revolution and what this is, I mean, obviously the cornerstone of Christianity, but it was, no, you're being tyrannical, you being the Brits, obviously. You're not allowing us to have freedom and pursue the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness that we as individuals want to pursue, endowed by our creator. So yes, we were going to leave. And then it was obviously, well, we're not letting you. Okay, fine, we'll kill you. And then we won. But it was we want to be individuals and not rely on the government. We want to rely on God and ourselves to better ourselves by the grace of God and do it, without you and your thumb over us with your tyranny. Where the reverse is, no, we want to establish a theocracy, because this is what I was talking to a family member about this. I was actually Granny Ram about the theocracy of Islam they're trying to bring in via socialism. Because if they can make socialism or the government the god via socialism, and then the god or the government and Islam are now one and the same. So now Islam is your god, and it's so subtle though, because it's not a gunshot, it's not with actual war, it's just subtle over time, and then you're just doing your own business. Go, wait, there's a Muslim school down the road. Shh. Don't worry about it. And then they distract you, and then they build more, they come more, and then you turn, you're like, wait, are they marching through Houston with, calls for, shh. And it's just over time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you blink and you've got Mamdani with the Washington desk reversed, which is funny because he's on the receiving end.
Okay. I Googled this, that the Washington desk, the desk actually has drawers on both sides, that it was when you were meeting with someone, you both had drawers. And that's the way the desk was designed. So it actually wasn't turned around.
Oh, well, regardless, it was ironic because if he's on the receiving end of the desk, it's almost like they're taking. So even if it wasn't purposeful or not.
Forget the drawers.
Yeah.
You're sitting at George Washington's desk.
Right. So
what?
That's the difference. It was
very, but I guess my thing is they whether it's for an outside reason or they genuinely believe that socialism in their way is better, that was kind of the same. We did too, but they are going to come in, and I don't know why people don't see this. That they are the tyrannical government that's coming in. And so why are we welcoming that? Why are we defending that?
Well, it's and it actually segues into Caroline Levitt's clip perfectly, because unfortunately my generation that hasn't lived through the troubles of. And you know what? This is twofold, because I actually think that messaging is so bad from the Republican Party, saying, suck it up, pull yourself up by your, even though I would agree, that's not the way to, that's not a winning message. But the reasoning is my generation, for the most part, is pretty soft. Not pretty, they're really soft. And so they just want to rely on the government and have things given to them. And we believe the lie of socialism a lot easier than the older generations who actually had to reap the benefits and lived the benefits of capitalism. But, and the study you sent about Biden's wide open borders and how much it increased home prices and stuff, our economy is not great. But the messaging for the Republican side needs to be different, to be like, hey, socialism is not the answer to that. The answer to that is deporting illegals, and there's a lot of things we can fix. Socialism is not the answer to fixing the economy. So I think that's why it's a softer generation that's in a bad economy, and they think the only answer is socialism because the charismatic Mamdanis are telling them that. I think that's the reason.
And they're taught in their classrooms since the time they were 5.
Yes.
And based on our sermon on Sunday, we've all forgotten. The church became jelly, whereas we used to be filled with spines of steel, women and men. So we've forgotten. So your generation can't even remember because they weren't even told in the first place. So you can't forget what you never learned. But we've forgotten. And y'all just never learned. And so you're right. The lure, the glittering lies sound so wonderful and appealing until you realize, if you take the time to look at history, which is another reason why it was never taught, accurate history wasn't taught. Because if it was, we'd be running with our pants on fire away from this message of socialism and an easy life and envying those who earn and work hard. We'd run away from that because it's undignified. But no, now it's like, oh, that sounds wonderful. Yeah, go get the rich guy. Screw him, screw her. All for me. But more to say on the whole Gen Z on the other side, just real quick, because that's an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think? Let us know, and we'll get to your comments when we come back.
What she said. We'll be back.
George Washington walking the block without his bloody wig on, and seeing somebody take a picture of George Washington with no wig, it'd be mighty embarrassing. I think they probably wore them out and about very often.
You're getting there.
I'm getting, hearing y'all talk, I'm getting
You're getting there.
Yes, if you just use a forward kind of more in the chest and the clavicle region.
It's somewhere deep in me.
Cross your T. T's are crisp. and then everything else is just lazy.
But my
sweetie.
ancestors came from England, so it's somewhere
There it
deep
is.
in
There
me.
it is.
It's deep in me.
So, the one thing we didn't take time to do before we did start the show is, what are our British names? Lady what? Lord what?
Lady Heifer.
Lady Heifer?
Lady Bessie Heifer.
Okay.
That would be me.
Okay. And I'm Lady Daisy Heifer.
Daisy Heifer.
And he is Lord.
What are
he
you?
is Lord Farquaad.
Do I look like Lord Farquaad?
A little bit.
Why, yes.
I think since you look like Marie Antoinette, you look a little French.
Well, looking at my DNA, my people did get around. So it is possible. I don't know. But she didn't necessarily say let them eat cake. And the story isn't true, but she was a very fashionable lady. And wow, as we discussed the French Revolution yesterday, maybe, I don't know. But we would be very, very hot all the time if this was back then.
There was no AC back then.
Oh, aren't we thankful?
Still not.
You know
AC
where
in
there's
your-
no
Air
AC
conditioning.
is Zohran Mamdani has told everyone to leave their air conditioning at a certain degree because of the heat wave and global warming and in saving the environment. And it's like he's trying to bring back the glorious days of the 1700s. But now it makes no sense. Ladies and gentlemen.
Do you think the sweatiness will make New Yorkers go, oh, blimey, we made a mistake?
I think so.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You don't think that they're sweating themselves half to death?
The New Yorkers. Dang.
It's so close. It's so close. I actually listened to a video yesterday about how to do this. It didn't really help.
A British accent is not easy, though.
No, it's not. But I will say I did spend about 2 weeks in Ireland a few years ago, and you leave and you talk like them.
Do you really?
You
That's
do.
my dream.
Yeah.
I just
So we should
love
have taken a
that
field trip to
accent.
Britain.
Love it.
Amy Beth's got it down, though.
She does. And
I-
she even, well, I can't tell if you look like a lunch lady, a stewardess.
Oh, Stuart.
You look like a rock band stewardess.
Yeah. I mean, she looks like she needs to be in a White Snake video. It's from 1776.
Obviously. And I just am so thankful again that we're not here. So whenever Mrs. Sinclair says that we're done, we're done.
Well,
and we'll
Oh,
carry on
darling.
with the day.
Darling.
I'm in my Vuori vest that's made for winter, and it's stretching.
Do you want
Yeah.
to turn the AC down?
Please, sir.
Anywho, do we have a word of the day? Maybe it's British.
Yes, actually I do. And my
And shall we eat cake afterwards?
yes. My
Maureen.
family is laughing at us, and I say I see you guys and I love you so much. All right, here is the word of the day. What are we laughing at now?
You.
Okay. Do you want me to do it in a British accent, or do you want me to do it so we can understand it?
No, British.
British.
Okay. All right. The word of the day. Oh, by the way, sir. Oh, where's our music for the word of the
Oh,
day?
sorry. I
How
was
do they
checking.
dance in Britain?
Say it one more time.
The word of the day.
They're not very fun.
They're not fun at all.
3, 2, 1.
That's all you get in Britain.
That's it. No jazz hands. No anything except things like this.
No,
Okay.
the sprinkler is not there.
I'd like to tell
Can't use
my,
water.
my bookend daughters who are watching us this morning, good evening, good morning, and good night. Hello, girls. At this point, they're probably sad, like, do they even know me? Here's the word of the day. Something or someone described as this has or shows an ability to understand difficult ideas and situations and to make good decisions. This word may be considered a formal synonym of the word wise and discerning.
There's no one I know that may.
Hi, and welcome back. We're the Right Side. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP, who we call the Savant because he is brilliant.
Why are we glitchy?
Are we glitchy?
We're glitchy.
It's the NSA. Oh, yeah, we're glitchy, and it looks like mouths are moving, but no.
Hold on. If,
I am a robot.
See, my end, y'all see what actually goes out. My end, it always looks good. So let me go and look, and then I'll see if I need to. Yeah.
I can at least fix my hair. And
Let's,
the wild hair. That's
Can you read?
Yeah, I'll refresh real quick.
Refresh. Everybody.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, that
better?
was easy. That was easy. That
That's
was
better.
quick. Thank you.
Oh.
Mhm.
Okay. Still a little.
We're glitchy again.
Oh, dang it. It's fine. All right. Let's do a couple of things. Let's do number one, your texts and thoughts from the socials. Number two, we're going to do a Muslim minute. And we're starting to do this frequently because we want to have a conversation and get you the information. And maybe on our texts and all that through socials, y'all can share stuff with us. And then we're going to debut something on Friday. I'm declaring it. We don't have a name.
Well, you can tell them what we're going to do, but we
Okay.
don't have a name for it.
Allison
And maybe they
Sinclair-
can help name it.
Y'all help us name it. And I promise we're getting to your thoughts in just a second. But we're going to do a style called Ask Me Anything. Well, not called Ask Me Anything. But on Fridays, y'all can typing cat in throughout the week on social medias. And then ask us anything for that week. And maybe we'll take a couple of questions on Friday just for something fun and different. And do we have limits on that?
I don't think so.
The filter is JP.
Okay.
Oh,
that's fair.
okay.
That's
JP's
fair.
the filter. I think it just we try and kind of hit on what we think y'all want to hear, but y'all might have questions about us or the world or
Yeah.
whatever
what is
it
the
is.
meaning of life?
Yeah. The
Mhm.
Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
We got
Yeah.
you covered.
Sure.
So anything.
Mhm.
Spill it.
So we have texts, thoughts, comments.
Mm-hmm.
All right, JP.
Bully Bell on the YouTube live stream has a good thought. The Supreme Court says it's legal, so Congress and the House are going to have to step up and do their job and pass something to nullify that result. That's what we were talking about earlier. And I think,
Oh, the birthright.
yes,
Okay.
excuse me.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. The birthright citizenship is what she's talking about. I don't have much hope that Congress is going to be. We're going to have like 65 Republicans in the Senate alone just to have even an inch of a hope that they would do that.
why?
Because I mean, right now we can't even get anything. We can't even get voting right laws passed to make elections secure with a 53 Republican majority.
Oh, you're saying to get legit Republicans.
Yes.
We got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
to have a constitutionally amended.
Because
To-
5-6 of them are going to be squishes.
Yeah, because 65 Republicans is actually like 53 Republicans, maybe.
Yeah.
I like that. That's almost like girl math.
That's pretty because right now with a 53 Republican majority, we have like 47 actually
Yeah.
Republicans.
You're right.
That's a good word.
You're right. You're right.
Okay, then.
Is it time for the Muslim minute?
Okay, and explain to our friends what we're doing here.
The Muslim minute is we play a clip from somewhere in the Islam world and we give our thoughts and reactions to it. But we wanted to do these daily to keep the pressure on the growing problem of Islam and to keep our audience informed on what's actually happening. Because I think, like, when we posted our video of the imam in Huntsville saying what he said, the amount of people that commented on like Facebook and said, I'm in Huntsville, I'm right down the road from this, and I had no idea this was going on. So I think the main goal is to just show our listeners that what is actually being said by Muslims in America and what they're trying to do.
I think now's the time. Let me just say this before we get started. The more I study Islam, and if you're truly following the religion, I'm going to start calling them a cult, because if you leave, they kill you or come after you. You know, you can't really leave on your own free will. That's like the definition of a cult. We need to do this now because they are still in the minority, which means they have to be nice to us and not come take out our dogs and cats and kill us. When they are in the majority, we probably can't say these things anymore. So we're going to do it now so that they don't make it to the majority.
And we're going to make it funny.
Is it funny?
Uh-oh, 5:30, time to pray. Time for haka? Hala, 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 haka, derba, 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 hakla.
Takbir! Allahu Akbar! Oh no! This is the Islamic Republic of New Yorkistan. Islam will be in every household. Inshallah, the whole world is Muslim. Welcome to Mamdani's New York.
I had seen Sneeko says Allah Akbar, I hate America. I had not watched that whole thing. He said New Yorkistan?
So this is the Islamic Republic of New Yorkistan. Islam will be in every household. Welcome to Mamdani's New York.
Deport. Like immediately. You don't even get a second chance. I don't want to hear your rebuttal. Go. Y'all, and who is Sneeko for those that don't know?
Sneeko is a Twitch live, or he may be on Kick now, but anyways, he's just a live streamer and influencer, a Muslim influencer. Yeah. But that's the sort of stuff like when people think, is Islam really a problem? Like, what is the big? No, Islam will be in every household. Allahu Akbar. That is the goal. And New York, where Washington was sworn in, correct?
Actually, the first capital of the United States.
Mm-hmm. New Yorkistan? Yeah. Like, can you imagine Washington hearing New York being called
Get
New
off my
Yorkistan?
street.
So you've got Mamdani
Terrorist.
using Washington's desk, and you've got that young man calling it New Yorkistan. And so when we say things like there's only one option, and that is to be deported, because you have no intention of becoming a melting pot with us and making America better. Here's a thought from Teddy Roosevelt. Christianity was saved in Europe solely because the people of Europe fought. If the people of Europe in the 7th and 8th centuries had not possessed a military equality with the Muslims, meaning as strong or stronger with the Muslims, the Christian religion would be exterminated. Why does everybody who's come before us that is a respected European or American leader, why do they understand the assignment? And we're suddenly now pretending that that assignment has changed. They have not changed. We have changed. So what are we going to do about it? Because in Christ, we don't have any reason to be afraid. So we have to combat it with the truth. But you guys have to understand the assignment has been the same since the 7th century, according to Islam. And as, like Allison said, we're doing our homework. That's never changed for them, ever. We are the ones who have changed. We have forgotten. And we must wake up. If this is the one thing our show accomplishes, is to wake people up, then this is why we exist. And not just because we're too hot to wear hijabs. It's because you will be dominated and subjugated. And this version of Islamo-communism is terrifying. And both for Islam and communism, both hundreds, if you combine both of them, hundreds of millions of people have died. You only look at history for that example. We have changed, and it is time that we remember so that we can regroup and regain the America that we know and love. But you know what that's going to require? It requires that you fight. And sometimes it's intellectual, and sometimes it's deporting, but it is going to require the backbone that our founders used to build this country. That's what that's going to require. That's the uncomfortable part, because we did this to ourselves.
And this is when I get mad, when the Trump administration is like, only the criminal illegal aliens, or only the, like, we need millions of people deported tomorrow, because I guarantee you, if we actually deported every illegal alien, we wouldn't be having New Yorkistan rallies in New York. At least they would go down by a lot, because I guarantee you a lot of those people that are doing those are not here legally. But this is also the part where I get frustrated when the idea of amnesty is floated. Like, you know what? The border's shut. Okay, if you're here, you're good. Nope, no harm done. And then from here on out, like, no. We need to reverse. We need remigration to save America.
I can't think of anything else. I mean, I know there are people probably listening. They're like, oh my gosh, y'all talk about this so much. Well, you know what? I can't think of anything, well, the gospel, but hopefully you hear that in everything we talk about. Because if we aren't doing this for the eternal good, what's the point? So hopefully we weave that in. But I'm thinking, why does school choice even matter when we have Islamic terrorists saying they're going to rule over this? I don't know much more that is much more important to talk about than this. And this isn't some, small pocket of people in Minnesota anymore. This is everywhere, and it's terrifying. And as I talk to even our state elected officials, they have no clue what is coming. They have no clue how to handle it. They're still in the, the law says we can't really do anything about that. We got to talk about zoning. We got to go at it from a zoning ordinance. No. So anyway, Muslim Minute turned into Muslim 10 minutes, but I just can't think of anything more important to talk about and bring awareness to right now.
And one more time, Allie Beth Stuckey with Raymond Ibrahim. Go find that podcast.
So good.
It's from last year. Allie Beth Stuckey with Raymond Ibrahim. Listen to it. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you are. Listen to it. Share it. We'll give out more resources. It does us no good if we know and you don't. This is for us together to weave our way through life, to walk through life with what is true. And we want you to know this, but please, please wake up. Just wake up. And we'll all be better for it. So there you go.
Go ahead.
Allison's
brain's
yeah, you can see my head. Like, how can I'm genuinely asking, is what Sneeko said, is that not some sort of sedition, some sort of, you're basically saying we're about to overthrow your country. We're going to overthrow your government. We're going to overthrow your foundation. Is that not something you can act on?
Well, and this is obviously me playing devil's advocate, but the response would be, well, Christians say that they're going to spread the gospel to every corner of the earth. How is this any different?
Well, I say because we don't kill people.
Right. But the problem is Christians go, they're right. What do we really do? And they don't have the right response to it. When you can say, no, actually, Islam is fundamentally antithetical to the Constitution, to the Declaration, to everything America was built upon. No. But that's the, I guess, loophole or the response is that, well, how is it different than Christians saying they're going to spread the gospel everywhere? Where Christians eventually have to get to a point where they say, no, Islam is completely antithetical.
Okay, let's talk through that. There's so much more to that, because Christians go, you know what? I'm going to tell you about how you are a valued person in and of yourself, how you have rights, how God created you perfectly and in his image, and how Jesus died for you to save you, to give you hope and give you life. And you have freedom to live in that. And you know what? If you reject that, the Christian goes, I'm going to pray for you and I'm going to love you. And I'm here if you ever want to talk about it, but go live your life. What did the Muslims do? They charge you taxes. They kill you. They make you their slave. They rape you. What?
Yeah.
They're not equal.
And I'll just say this. Sorry.
Abs has a table.
Yeah,
I got a table.
I think the other part too is.
You send me that?
Oh, what was I gonna say? I had something good.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
No, it's fine.
Christians need to have the backbone to say like what you're saying of, well, they may come in sweet and say, we're just a religion. Allah's a God of love. We revere Jesus just like y'all. That's the entry point. But when we have to tell Christians that the end point is Sharia, the end point is being killed if you leave. So don't listen to the entry point because that's not the end point.
And perhaps when we talk to other believers, the other issue is we need to know what the Bible says. We have the Bible, we're not reading it. Get with pastors who tell you the absolute truth and the reality about the way things are. And then we have to remember when they make claims, when people make claims, we have to make them back up the claim they just made. We don't always have to answer the question. Define what you mean by peace, those sorts of things. And then do your homework on what Islam is. Because, for example, just in one criterion, and there's a chart, and we'll take our time to go through it, but not today. This is just one example. Number one, political rule. So in other religion, there is it's a spiritual moral principle: render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's. But for Islam, the political rule is existing and binding. The idea is caliphate, which is global government. There's no separation between mosque and state. Islam is the government. It is a system of government. Yeah. So we're going to post things. We're going to share things. We want you to share things with us. But we are not dealing with something that is sweet, nice, and kind. The people may be, because we're Southerners and we're kind to each other. We're sweet to each other. But do your homework. This is where we're getting tripped up. Do your homework. Do it.
I'm thinking about, and it happened this weekend in discussion with some of the people that were at the lake house. You know, we have kids and some are more liberal than others. And one was like, but the separation of church and state. Well, that's why the Muslims should have a seat at the table. Separation of church and state. What are you going to say when they're in control? You have zero separation of church and state. That's what you're basing this on. That's what you're saying. This is great. Separation. Nope.
But even the initial separation of church and state is a lie.
Well, yes, but yes, and I gave them that lesson. But even if you go with their logic, we got to have separation church and state, so put the Muslims in charge. What?
Exactly. Where's their separation of church?
Yeah,
well,
there is
look
none.
at London. How well has that gone? England. How's that going over there? Look at Dearborn, Michigan, where, by the way, it is now legal to slaughter animals in your backyard.
Is that the halal?
Separate.
Halal.
But you may now their food. You may sacrifice animals in your backyard now. Slaughter.
I need to look up HALAL. Food. That's the food they eat. You know, and they're starting to offer it in schools up there.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, however you prepare that food is very traumatic and torturous.
And by the way, to your separation of church and state comment, it used to be a requirement that you had to be a Protestant Christian to rule as a governor of any of the original 13 colonies. And it used to be, I saw it, I think it was 11 of the original 13. It may have been 12. It was a majority of the original governors of the 13 colonies went to seminary. So it was not separation of church and state as if we don't want the church. No, it's that the state is not worthy enough of being involved with the church, as if it was church, Protestant Christian church, state. Like way, way, way below. So it was not a state and church or separate. It is no, we are Christians first, and we use the state to protect the church because they knew if the state got involved with the church, it would plague the church because the state's not even worthy of being anywhere near something that sacred. So that it was not, Christians could not be involved in the church and Christianity. It was we were Christians primarily first, and then the state did. Pretty much the state's power was just to protect the church and to protect Christians' rights. But the fact is, it's been twisted by not just Muslims, but atheists in particular. How dare you, be a Christian? And just a separation of church and state. It's like you have first of all, that statement is nowhere in the Constitution, and you have no idea what the founding fathers even meant by that. It was the church being the main thing. Mm-hmm. That was it. Mm-hmm. But that we have to educate because we are in the majority, like you said. So Christians are comfortable and they don't realize the rising threat. But that is going to, whenever you blink and realize that the caliphate is running New York and you realize that Muslims are creeping towards the majority, and then you're on your back foot. And at that point, they can say, well, separation of church and state, you silly Christian, and then chop your head off. So we got to get out ahead of it now so that you know how to respond.
It's a good word.
I have a question. Mm-hmm. Can we just go? I mean, I know we didn't plan any of this, but I have a legitimate question. And I'm building an argument and I'm doing some research and I need your all's thoughts. Okay. Is Satanism a recognized religion?
I have no idea.
I haven't Googled it, so I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
Satanism is recognized as a legal and official religion.
Under the federal government?
Yes. Then the Satanic Temple has tax exempt status by the IRS and are protected under federal law.
Okay.
So what about atheism? That'd
be ironic if they were.
Probably not,
because
there's no organization.
Yeah. Freedom from Religion Foundation.
Okay. So, but it is a system of beliefs or it's something. Okay.
It says it's not a religion, but the Supreme Court and U.S. law recognize atheism as an equivalent to a religion for constitutional purposes.
So the people that are the Christians or the fair and nice and kind, and we have to be so nice people that live in Shelby County that we know that say the Muslim school, just let them move in. Would you have a problem with the Christian school? What would they say if a satanic school wanted to move in?
Yeah, it'd be the
all
only
hell
thing we talk about.
Would break loose.
But it's a religion.
Mm-hmm. That's good, Allison. All heck would break loose. You can't do that.
And honestly, when I look in the end, I don't even know. Okay, y'all, we're just having a discussion. I don't know how many people are out there listening. We're just talking. We're working through this together. Do the Satanists kill you or enslave you or charge you money if you don't believe what they believe?
No.
What do they do? I mean, they might sacrifice you or take your firstborn and kill it and eat it.
They don't kill you if you're going to leave.
They just say, hey, are they kind of like Christianity? I mean, they might put a hex on you, but are they kind of like, hey, we're here. Come see what we're about. But if you say no, then we're cool.
According to the Googles.
Yeah. What does the Google say?
According to Wikipedia, it says Satanists simply respect your right to leave and get on with their lives.
Okay.
So do you want to state the obvious? Can you do it, JP, so I don't die?
The obvious is Islam has worse repercussions for leaving than even the Satanic Temple.
They have not only leaving, but not believing. I mean, but we would never offer the Satanists a seat at the table.
Right. And we shouldn't. But I think your point is, yeah, the repercussions for leaving are even worse for Islam. But they sell it as a bag of goods of, we want to be in a part of the community and we just want to, which was it Philip Brown that talked about most Muslims are actually conservative. So there's well, we believe what y'all believe. We don't like men and women's restrooms either. We are pro-life. We just want to come in, and it's the strategy to, oh, wait, sorry. You want to leave? You're dead.
Yeah. And remember, as you're listening to stories like the young man that we met, Sharik Khan in Texas, his dad told him, you go to New York City, and when we move here, you be the very best representation of Islam there ever has been. So there's that part of them that wants to represent Islam as being the very best thing. However, if they're not actually practicing true Islam, then they're the same as a Christian who buffets the Bible and just has turned themselves into their own God, because there are different interpretations of scripture. No, there's not. I mean, there's like the God is the way. There's one way. That's all. But so you can't leave. You can't leave. And if you're not actually following to a T what the triad of books that they follow are, then you're not actually following Islam. You're a moderate. But there are no, according to Raymond Ibrahim, there are no moderate Muslims. They're just biding their time. You have to recognize that. We have to recognize that. They're just biding their time.
Until what?
Until they go from the Mecca strategy to the Medina strategy, and they only do that when they have gotten complete control.
Yes.
Then the mask comes off. And remember, their religion allows taqiyya. Their religion allows for them to lie if it's for the good of the cause. That is in the book. That is what is allowed. So there's much to cover. There's much to talk about, but you are very right, Allison. It is easier for you to leave Satanism than it is for you to leave Islam.
And if you don't join the Satanists, there aren't consequences to that. When the Muslims take over America, and at this rate they will, if we don't do something, there will be consequences if you do not pronounce your loyalty to their God. That's terrifying.
It's in their book. It's just there.
So we'd rather hang out with Satanists at this point. That's what I'm coming to. That's what I'm realizing.
Yeah.
Scary.
It's out there. Just check it out.
I guess you push the break back.
Yeah, we can go in about 20 seconds.
All right.
Okay.
We've got Gen Z Silver Spoons. Did you want to follow up more on that?
Yeah, we can play the clip again because it's been trending on social media. Caroline Levitt's clip.
Okay.
Pelosi's husband is wrecked
got
again.
Troubles.
Mitch McConnell. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Because I think that, and his wife, 3 or 4 days after he was hospitalized, flew to China and met with some Chinese officials.
That was weird.
I think it's exactly what we thought.
You mean spy?
Yeah, they probably know all of our secrets now. We'll cover that when we come back.
Okay, who would like to go first?
My favorite founding father, as of right now, and I don't know many of them because I'm late to the American history game. Shameful. Has to be Thomas Jefferson. Because he just declared there is no more negotiating with the Barbary pirates. I would like to kill you all. And I'm starting a navy to do it. And I think that is based. He also loved his wife and his daughters.
Wow.
All right, let's go one by one. Favorite founding father and why, and then circle around. Circle around on the story.
Okay. Like another story, because I've got a good story after my favorite founder. Is that permissible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that wasn't my story.
Okay. Oh, that wasn't your. Okay, good.
So your
All right.
favorite founding father.
Look, friends. My favorite founder rotates, but I was trying to find a founder from where I was born, which is Pennsylvania. Okay. And this guy's name was Governor Morris.
She had to be special.
Well, I just wanted to keep it, also I asked my husband things. He was a delegate to the Constitutional Convention in 1787, but he was the most recorded from the founders. He delivered 173 speeches.
No way.
Yes.
Never even heard of him.
I know. This is why I'm dishing this out and serving it to you today.
Good for you.
So just a couple of funny things, but he is known. This is what blew my mind, and this is what catapulted him into my favorite spot. He's known as the penman of the Constitution.
Does that mean he had to quill all of that?
Oh, I don't know, but I'll tell you. Despite his reputation as a colorful, peg-legged aristocrat, his contemporaries noted that his frequent interventions in blunt debates, which we respect here, did the most to shape the executive branch and national identity. Also, with the preamble, Morris independently reorganized the document into 7 articles and wrote the immortal opening words, "We the people of the United States of America." And you will all appreciate why this guy is my guy. He was one of the only delegates who passionately and directly spoke out against slavery during the convention, calling it a nefarious institution.
Not William Morris. What was his first name?
Well, you can call him Governor Morris. And do I have his first name? No, of course not.
It may be William.
I don't know. There's a Dickinson who signed the founding documents, but I don't think that we're related.
That's a cigarette.
Governor Morris. I'll find his name now. Okay, JP.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
My favorite founding father.
Thank you. Yes, you need to lull us to sleep.
Well, if you could not tell by the portrait behind me, my favorite, and I hate to be generic and stereotypical, however, my favorite founding father would be that of George Washington, but for not the reasons that others may say George Washington is their favorite. Not because he was the first president, not because he's on the quarter, not because he's got a cool name, but because he single-handedly won us our revolution. Because the Jeffersons, the Adams, those were brilliant men. However, they needed a man's man to go out and beat the British and to achieve it physically. And whether it was crossing the firs in Delaware on Christmas Day, or whether it was suffering through the harsh winters, and he had to go to Continental Congress and convince them to not give up because they were like, we're done. We're not going to do this anymore. He was the one that actually made it happen. And they were ready to crown him king after such a remarkable victory. And he said, no, I'm not going to. As a matter of fact, after 2 terms, I'm going to leave and go home. And everybody was like, oh, George. He had the most remarkable achievement and then went home on top. And we would not have America without George Washington single-handedly.
Hear, hear.
Cheers.
I like this.
I do too. Could we put our head down?
It's like a nice break in the madness.
It's true.
Shall we tell our favorite stories?
Yes.
Mine is very, very long.
That's okay.
That's
Mine is kind of long too.
Mine is just...
Okay, what do we want to go from shortest to longest?
Are we going to do it to the music?
Do we want to?
I'm kind of getting tired.
Okay.
Just made me want to go to sleep.
No, we can go...
And we can do it in our normal voice.
Okay.
No, let's
Whatever
go to
you want.
shortest to longest.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure?
That requires my
I think
glasses.
it'll go Amy.
She
Beth,
got to
me.
get her glasses.
I got to get my glasses. This is thank you to... Do I look like the guy from... Oh, my word.
Yes.
The hats and the glasses.
Yes. Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
Excellent.
Excellent.
We both.
You do.
We both do.
Ha. All right. I
Swing.
mentioned this in the newsletter, but there's this group that were dubbed the Black Robe Regiment. And the British were the ones who dubbed them the Black Robed Regiment. And we learned about it on Sunday, but I had to go do a little more digging. So Pastor Dan Fisher is the one who explores the remarkable and often forgotten role that pastors played in securing the religious and civil liberties that we enjoy today. And basically, he founded the Black Robe Regiment ministry. But what we learned about on Sunday and all of the things that I printed out were not there. But you have, first of all, Pastor Peter Mullenberg, who was the one we learned about at our TPUSA conference.
That had the pistols?
That's actually a separate person.
Okay.
So this guy,
I bet they were friends.
They were probably besties. This guy had his black clerical robe on, and then at the end of the sermon, threw it off to reveal a military uniform underneath, challenged the men of his church to join in the fight, and they did. I think every single one of them did. And they left from church to go and fight in the Revolutionary War. You have another pastor who preached in Boston that it is our job to battle against tyranny. Another pastor who later became a chaplain of the military preached with 2 pistols on either side of his pulpit to protect him from assassination. Many of these pastors, most of them were Presbyterian. Sorry, I got to give a shout out to my people. Tulip is my ride or die. Reformed is my ride or die. But these were the men who, and there were many, many more. And if you want to look into it, it's called the Black Robed Regiment. And you can look into their names and their lives. But they were pastors, not just. All right, so apparently the interwebs were melting down over Caroline Leavitt's comments from this weekend. And hey, look, I like
that.
I like that. The
over,
music underneath is kind of like the altar call, or maybe when the pastor's making his wrap up comments and there's like this music underneath. That's fine. But we wanted to circle back and put an exclamation point at the end of that conversation. But do you guys think it's true that Gen Z does have a silver spoon in their mouth and they do expect things they didn't work for? I don't know that that's true for everybody. I do know that we walked into this because when our children were little, and I'm a few years older than Allison, when they took away the score for little kid basketball and little kid soccer. Meanwhile, my son walks off the court every time or the soccer field and was like, we won 6-2. And he was 4. He learned how to count from football and basketball. And so when you took that away, because you're just trying to learn the game, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And there's no travel. There's no fouls.
It's just all good. We're just learning the lesson. So if you're just learning the lesson, and then you take away the score, then you take away the reason to work. So from a formative age, you gave them trophies for jack squat. So that's kind of the beginning to me of the seeds of this rebellion of we deserve what we didn't work for. And I'm not saying everybody. I have Gen Z kids that are amazing and they work their tails off. But for the most part, for the kids that I've met that are maybe outside the South, for example, I do see this. And there's a brattiness that they think they know everything and that you're wrong because you worked hard and surely you stole from somebody to get what you want. And now I get to steal from you because I deserve it and I want it. Why? Why did they get that idea? Because you took away their scores when they were little kids and then you gave them a trophy at the end.
So real quick, before we get going too far in it, do we want to play the Caroline Leavitt clip?
Yes.
And she actually posted and said that the silver spoon comment was taken out of context. So we're going to play the full 1.5-minute answer to Jesse Waters' question about this Gen Z obsession with socialism.
Here right now.
Some of these kids, and I call them kids because they're in their 20s, and they've never had real jobs, and they're complaining things are expensive. Yes, things are expensive when you don't have a real job.
That's right.
Do you think that's getting traction? Complaining?
Unfortunately, I do, because this generation, my generation, I hate to say it, Gen Z and those younger than me have been raised with just silver spoons in their mouth, just getting everything handed to them. That's not the values this country was built on. It was built on meritocracy and hard work, pulling up your sleeves, pulling yourself up from your bootstraps, and achieving the American dream. And we need to protect it with all we got.
Is it laziness?
A little bit.
Is it because the professor said country's corrupt, it's evil, and we just need to shake them down and hand money out?
It's laziness, and it's the liberal indoctrination. You bring up a great point about our education system. However, I will say, a silver lining, so many parents that I talk to across the country are homeschooling, are turning to private education, are turning towards Christian schools across the country because they don't want their children being taught these communist and liberal ideas slammed down their throat. It's why President Trump in the White House has advocated so strongly for school choice across the country. We want kids to be taught to love our country. They should. It is the greatest country in the history of the world.
All right. I say, if they misbehave, just make all these young kids join the army, right? Shape them up. I almost had
or send them to Cuba. Send them to Iran. They'll want to come back real quick.
That's a good point. They can say hi to the gay Ayatollah. Thank you so much. And
I think it's a both and. I think there is a large chunk of kids that are our kids, JP, your age, and it's every generation does this. Every next parent generation, you want your kids to have better than you did. I mean, my mom, I can remember her talking about they had no money, her having to make her own glue for school projects, kind of thing. She had to learn how to sew to make her own clothes. Okay. You don't want that for your kids. You want to give them a better life. But in this age of convenience, there's no delayed gratification. You can have a Hot Pocket in the microwave and your meal is done in like a minute and 30 seconds. And social media, it's instant gratification. Everybody has cars. Everybody has all these things. And I think part of it is we kind of failed y'all as parents. In our defense, we didn't know how bad some of this stuff would be, the social media, the phones at such an early age kind of thing. But even if you do work hard, you can't deny, say you go out and get, you graduate college and you get just a normal average job. Actually, Collins and I the other day did the math on this. Mm-hmm. We took what I made getting out of college and the average price of a home. We took the average price of a college graduate today and the average price of a home. You have to make about 20% more to purchase a home. So even if you are hardworking, there are a lot of things that are stacked up against your generation. So I don't think it's fair to just blanket statement, silver spoon, lazy.
Yes. And that's why I think this messaging from the GOP is so bad. You're not going to win over Gen Z with boomer metaphors and phrases like pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Like that's not going to work. Even though I do agree, a lot of my generation is extremely lazy and just wants to smoke weed and then go to the government-run grocery store so they can have cheap munchy food. Like that is a bunch of my generation for sure. But the pull yourself up by your bootstraps, champ, don't be like that's not going to work. I do think we have to acknowledge, and the part with Jesse Waters when he said, yeah, it's expensive when you don't have a real job. Like, no, even those with a real job are struggling with the price of homes. Inflation is very much a problem still. So we have to acknowledge, we being the Republican Party, have to acknowledge that there is an affordability crisis. Because if you don't acknowledge that and you just say, oh, they're just lazy, then you're not going to win everybody over. You have to say there is an affordability crisis. The answer is not socialism. The answer is, hey, did you see this report about Biden's open border raising everything up 20%? How about we deport 10 million illegal aliens? You think that would help the housing problem? Or, hey, I don't think BlackRock should be allowed to buy up single family homes. I think that's a great solution to it. So when the economy makes our generation hopeless and the Republican Party got one side saying, it's not that bad, you're lazy, grow up. And then you got the other side of the Mondani saying, I'll make everything free. Which side do you think the Gen Zers are going to go to? They're going to go, well, I want free because the other side's just calling me lazy. I just want free stuff. So we have to have something to counter the socialism problem. And, ultimately there is a bit of, maybe New Yorkers and the Gen Zers in New York need to just figure out on their own. Socialism doesn't work. But the Republicans need to have a much better, like the boomer excuse me for boomers, but that ideology and it's not going to work with Gen Zers. It's just
so.
not.
What is the messaging? What do we need to be saying
I
as
think-
parents and the Republican Party?
I think Charlie Kirk had it nailed down so good. I mean, he was at college campuses so much, and he had a great podcast with Tucker Carlson, I think a month before he died, actually, about the affordability crisis. And it was a big part of it is what I was saying of the deporting illegals and getting like the stats like that of, hey, it's not just, prices aren't just so high just because they're so high. Like illegal aliens are a major part of that. And just getting in front of the messaging in terms of going to the college campuses and Christians, conservatives who are there, because Gen Z is going back to the church. So there is an entry point there. They're not all lazy and all just want to go to socialism. I think if you give them information like from the Charlie Kirks and the others, and actually show them like, hey, maybe even just showing the pictures of the ghettos and the slums of the USSR. Like, hey, this is what socialism brings you. Hey, look at Venezuela and what it was. That's what socialism brings you. Look at Cuba and what it was. That's what socialism brings you. So I think if we can have a counter of, hey, yeah, prices are so bad, but here's an actual fix to it, and here's why, and socialism is not the answer to it.
And the other part is education. We stopped teaching people how to think a long time ago, and we replaced it with oatmeal type of education where it's just kind of, like I like oatmeal with brown sugar and walnuts.
Lumpy.
But it's lumpy and you're hungry. It's kind of like Chinese food. You're hungry like an hour later after you've eaten it. We took really good education, classical quality education, and we replaced it with that. So even being able to know that this socialism is wrong, they don't, because they weren't taught that. They were taught a revised version of history, where socialism sounds good because that's what they said, because the rich people are the oppressors and we're the oppressed. So it's a layered issue. But you are right. The messaging, it needs to just be a counter with the housing story that, I don't know which one of y'all found the housing story. Allison, I think you found the housing story. It's a counter with that. And it's a counter with BlackRock. But it's also on our end, state legislatures need to get in and redo the curriculum immediately, because that's the other part of it. It started with the trophies for nothing, and then the education, and then it's expensive, and then you can't use the same lines you once did, even if all of it is true. There are some lazy. There are some that are not lazy. There are some that are really smart, and there are some that just never really learned because they weren't given the opportunity, because we did that to them because Common Core sounded so good. So it's a layered crisis, and we need to get out of it as quickly as possible.
You know who needs to be educated just as much as Gen Z are Republican legislators.
Amen.
Because, and this is part of what Charlie Kirk was talking to Tucker Carlson about. It's like, do Republican legislators, he said he met with a Republican senator. He didn't say who it was. And he talked about the fact of, I believe it's called Klarna, where you can get a loan to get pizza. You can get a loan to get groceries.
Oh, I've seen that.
And he brought this up to a Republican senator of like, hey, like this is a thing, right? And he was just like clueless. He had no idea that Gen Zers were taking out loans from Klarna to get pizza and to get like everyday things. That is the current state of Gen Z. So Republican senators, Republican legislators need to be educated just as much about the current state of Gen Z and how to properly counter it.
That's a good word. You're a good egg, JP. You're a good egg, Allison Sinclair.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Ugh, bad eggs are terrible.
They are so bad.
I do want to know, and we don't have to do it today, but at some point we need to have a discussion. This is where it ended with Collins. She was actually saying the exact same thing. Everybody thinks we're lazy. Everybody thinks we're whatever. We're not working hard enough. This is the minimum wage. I mean, she had some stats and some numbers, and I was like, okay, good for you. But at the end of it, I said, but the reality is we are where we are. So you can stay a victim, or you might have to work a little harder. And so I'm curious, at some point, let's have that discussion of how do you get ahead? You can't stay in that victim. Well, they've stacked the odds against me. Well, we all have odds stacked against us at some point. And maybe it's the economy, maybe it's our family, whatever it is. How do you rise above that to put yourself in the best position, JP, when you're our age? We got to figure that out because the government is not coming to save us. I don't think.
And I don't want it to.
There's always a way around and there's always a way out.
Yeah.
We just got to get more creative about how to do that. And that's where that requires logic and some forward thinking.
Real quick, we got about 5 minutes. So we want to talk Mitch McConnell and his wife, or do we want to talk about Paul Pelosi?
How about both? Mitch McConnell, is his wife a spy? That's the question.
Yeah. So Mitch has been missing. I'm paraphrasing all the things I'm putting together. He disappeared. They said he was sick. Well, turns out he was found unconscious in a cardiac event, taken to the hospital. Well, now it's coming out that they're not sure, 3 or 4 days after he was hospitalized. And this was like 3 weeks ago. And his staffers aren't saying anything. Nobody will answer any questions. He won't put out a statement. Nobody's talking. 3 or 4 days after he was hospitalized, his wife, Elaine Chao, traveled to China and met with high up Chinese government officials. And I can't remember his name, but the one she met with then a few days later met with the Chinese vice president. So my question is, was he married to a spy? We'll just call her Fang Fang. It's kind of looking like it. Why do you leave your dying, unless he's already dead?
He could be already dead. Such a weird situation. Anyway.
So why would she go to China? Your husband is, let's just say, hospitalized in a coma. And you're just going to take off and dip to China. Weird. And then why is nobody talking?
Do you guys know anything?
But all of our senators, everybody in DC has to know. They have to be asking questions. And if you're not, then you're probably part of the problem. That's just weird. And the government should not be able to operate that way.
No.
The other Republican House member that's disappeared for about a month because he said now it's coming out he was depressed and he hasn't voted in a month or 5 weeks.
Seriously?
Yeah. I don't think that's a functioning government. So Mitch McConnell, is he dead? Is he in a coma? Is his wife a spy?
I'll check and see if he's dead yet.
Not dead, but not a, or well, dead, but maybe a spy.
Then you do think he's dead?
Okay, no, I totally butchered that. Not dead, but maybe a spy.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're saying too that if you, and I don't think this is true. I think they're debunking it now, but if you wait, there's something about August 3rd. If he's dead before August 3rd, then they have to call a special election in which Thomas Massey could run for that seat.
That'd be theater.
I don't know if that deadline's actually true, but is this just politics as usual? I mean, Mitch McConnell, he's kind of a big deal and nobody's even talking about it.
I think everybody's almost like, wait, he's actually still alive. I think that's the reaction.
Can't hate our government enough.
I'm not dead yet.
But
my wife.
There's one. Her name's Desiree Townsend. Let's see, is that her name? Desiree Townsend, and she's standing outside the hospital, and she is calling out all of Congress, calling everything out, every day. Just not going to let it go.
Did y'all see the video of him getting wheeled into the Capitol though?
So weird.
Because there was the one. It was in the same spot that he fell. I have to pull up the video.
We also need to talk about the game tonight. Gosh, we're running out of time.
We are running out of time. Let's talk about the game tonight. That's more important. Whatever else we didn't get to, we can talk about tomorrow.
So that's why I'm wearing my shirt, because we're going to go watch the game. I watched my first full soccer match last night, England versus Mexico.
Did y'all hear what the Mexican fans did the night before?
No.
They apparently sat outside the because it was in Mexico City.
Yeah.
They sat outside the hotel of where England, the players were, and they just blasted music and did fireworks like all night.
Oh, no way.
And they still lost.
It's kind of funny. They lost, and England had only 10 players on the field, and they still lost.
Can I confess something?
Oh, dear, what?
I haven't watched a second of the World Cup.
Oh, it's been good.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Are you going to watch tonight?
I'm just not a soccer guy.
USA, Belgium, especially after all the red card stuff, that's a whole thing. And then Trump got involved and now everybody's really upset and everybody hates us. And if we win, that's what stinks. There's always going to be an asterisk by it.
I watched tonight.
Watch it.
Watch
Watch
it.
Watch? Yes. Oh, yes.
I'm just not a soccer
Chris has
guy.
been talking about it all weekend. Okay. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow after the game tonight. I do not want to forget, if it's okay, to throw out there that my friend Bobby, we're posting his podcast, Allison Sinclair, and he's going to come on next week for a few minutes because he's coming in town to do workouts for me because I don't want to be a decrepit grandmother. I want to be strong. But his story is unbelievable. And if anybody in your family has struggled with alcoholism or any kind of addiction, you want to hear his story, because where he was versus where he is now is incredible. Guys, how would you describe it for people who are thinking, well, I don't know?
I was thinking of a title to call it, and I mean, he talked about his fitness company being called Phoenix from the Ashes. Like, up from the ashes is the perfect way to describe his story. I mean, he was under a bridge, drinking mouthwash, eating food that was thrown out by the deli, like for trash. Like, that's the state he was in. And now he's launched his own business and is happy and healthy and has been sober for how many years? Was it about 15 years?
15.
So yeah, an amazing testimony and story.
I think we dig into kind of what, if you're not the addict, but we kind of talk about you're living with the addict, you've got someone in your family, and whether it's alcohol or porn or drugs or eating disorder, I mean, there are addictions everywhere. How do you approach that? How do you handle that? How do you support them? How do you not become an enabler, but still call them to better lives? And then I really love what he's doing now. And it's funny how God got him to the point of being in this health and wellness sphere, but he's kind of learning and doing all the things I've been trying to put together for a lot of years now. And it's really interesting to hear him talk about how we should eat and how we should take care of our bodies and what we should and shouldn't be doing. So it's kind of an all around, just really good podcast. We touch a little bit, like you might cry and then you're going to laugh and then you're going to learn a few things, but I could use a little bit of his help. Yeah. You might have a trainer. He can train you from anywhere. You don't have to be in Huntsville.
Listen, I'll show you my text I got this morning at 5:10 maybe.
Oh, and he does meal prep plans specifically for you.
Is he telling you what to do?
Look at this beautiful chart. This is my workout for the week. Like, it's beautiful. You can't really see it, but like, you can do it online.
Wait
but
a
he knows
second.
Me.
That looks like a poster at the gym.
He created that. He uses the AIs and he programs it all. And isn't that beautiful? And then there's an app, and you can also have an app show you each of your moves that you're making through the workout that he creates. But yeah, I did one last week and I couldn't walk for days. It's fine. I think this is fantastic. Anyway, what we would love is for you to watch the podcast and like it and then share it, please, because Bobby's story is not just because I've known him since I was 5 and we went to school together all the way through. It's because his is an inspiring story. And right now we need all the inspiration we can get. So we hope you enjoy it, and we'll take a look at it later today.
Yeah, it'll go up about 6:00 tonight.
Sweet.
It's the gospel. It's never too late. Ever. And when you hear his story, you might be like, I would have said it was too late. But it's not. It's really good. I'm excited.
All right, I got a good would you rather. Would you rather live in a world where everyone has superpowers or live in a world where no one does? So pretty much this world or a world where everyone has one? I'm going everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, because at least you'd have a chance to fight off. Because maybe somebody was evil superpower and you're the good superpower. Are you thinking no superpowers?
I don't know. Superpowers seem like a dangerous thing for everybody to have. I'm thinking of all the stupid people.
Oh, yeah.
Could do
All
really
the
stupid
evil
things.
Evil. Yeah, that's a good point.
Look,
I
I
don't
just
know.
want to throw lightning from my fingers. Just pew.
I want to fly. I don't know why.
Do you know how quick you could get places?
Oh man, it'd be great.
But then there'd be flying traffic. There'd be like flying stoplights and flying. Yeah.
It'd be like 65 in the air.
Yes. Yeah.
We can't make it to the beach any quicker. Go wide 65.
Go wide in the air.
Wheel lanes or go wide.
We're gonna make 6 flying lanes to 60 or to the beach.
Okay, y'all go America. I'm excited. I hope we aren't losers. We can't lose to Belgium.
No.
That'd be lame.
Belgium.
I think we're gonna win. Y'all have a good night.
Y'all too.
Okay, make good choices tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow on the right side.